We had a baby shower at work, and they were all talking about the annual conference that's coming up in January that I won't be at, but it's going to be in Vegas. And they were like, we're going to go see the Chippendales. I was like, hell yeah, dude, let's fucking party. Like, I want to degrade a man. Talking Apollo 13. Sorry.
I know.
Yeah, we should probably start.
We should start.
Okay, let's do it. All right. How do we start?
Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Welcome to Hold My Popcorn, folks. I'm Tim Begin, once again hosting. So, fully expecting this episode to be one of the lowest rated in our history. With me always is Max Healy down in Nashville. How you doing, Max?
Doing great, Tim. For the listeners at home, this is something I haven't told the boys yet, but stay tuned for after we're done with the movie, because we're going to be doing a Marry, Fuck, Kill for Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton, and Kevin Bacon.
Oh, of course.
I still don't know how to play that game. Last time I did it, I put Kellyanne Conway on there, and I thought that I was going to kill her, but now it turns out that's not the case.
Well, you don't have to choose her this time, so.
Okay, good point.
And an appropriate segue, John, because you are John Anoshak, and you're on the show too, as always.
I am.
In Sacramento.
And,
how you doing, John?
You know, man, I'm really concerned about the number 13 again after watching this movie, because apparently everything goes wrong. How are you, Tim?
I'm fine. Couldn't be better.
Yeah.
Apollo 13 is a great movie. Probably fifth greatest movie ever, behind, of course, the 4 Lethal Weapons. Anyways, we got Bill Dooley up in Portland, Maine. Bill, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking, Tim. I just had to clear my throat there, but I'm doing good.
I tried to sneak it under the radar there, Bill.
Yeah, it came in. It came in anyways.
Yeah.
A squib would have a fucking cough. Yeah.
Delayed. Like a typical squib.
Oh.
Delayed and disappointing.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad everyone's doing good, because we're doing a good movie tonight, which is Apollo 13, the great Apollo 13, starring Tom Hanks, starring Bill Paxton, starring Kevin Bacon, fucking Ed Harris, fucking Gary Sinise. I mean, we're talking, besides Tom Hanks, we're talking about the who's who of CSI right now in this cast. But let's be honest, a fucking fantastic cast, and a fantastic movie.
I gotta say, this is probably Tom Hanks at his most, like, his edgiest. You know, I'm pretty sure he drops profanity in this movie. He yells at somebody.
He gets mildly upset at least once.
He's kind of a dick for most of the movie.
He is. He's a selfish prick, actually. Yeah.
Really?
And I'll bring this out later. Gary Sinise, his character Ken, is the only, like, selfless character in the entire movie.
Yep.
Especially as far as astronauts go.
The only
he's there.
Thing.
Get the job done. That's what he's there to do. He's there to save lives, make shit happen.
I think I know the point you guys are going to make, and I'll be here to refute it, because I wholeheartedly
I don't agree with what you're suggesting right now, but I'm here to listen.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm just happy. You're wrong.
I'm very, very excited that Tim has just pledged to stay on for the entirety of the episode. So this is good.
Yeah. Well, I have to, because I'm hosting. All right, let's just jump right into it, boys. So the movie opens with trumpets and the great Walter Cronkite talking over a sort of like flashback scene of the Apollo 11 astronauts getting onto their rocket and then burning to death.
I was way more focused right afterwards with Kevin Bacon explaining sexual intercourse, but we'll get there, won't we?
Oh, yeah, we're going to get there. So, yeah.
Don't you worry.
So after this sort of foreshadowing scene of catastrophe in the space program, then we're introduced to the main character, Jim Lovell, as he's drunk driving back to his home to watch the moon landing. And Kevin Bacon's demonstrating his future sexual assault to a woman.
I gotta say, I haven't seen this movie for a long time. I feel like it was probably shown in like school at some point, like on like a half day where you didn't have anything going on. I do not remember that scene being so obviously sexual. Yeah,
or him then later on. or like a different woman coming out of the shower like 10 minutes later.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Kevin Bacon fucks
Oh,
in this
yeah.
movie.
Oh no, that was actually his wife.
That was definitely not Kara Sedgwick.
But really, if without sex, like, it would make perfect sense because it really would feel good to be able to lock into that space capsule. I mean, like, really good. If sex wasn't in the background in the least bit. So, like, maybe, fuck it. I don't even want to go any farther on that. It's going to get weird.
I'll go there. This guy's entire life is just revolves around penetration.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Best in the
True.
biz.
Except he's
So-
definitely not the best in the biz.
And he also, spoiler alert, he may or may not actually give somebody clap on the fucking on the shuttle later on in the movie. Like, just maybe they might be serious about that.
Space AIDS.
It's a first.
I'm also-
Space AIDS.
Not a big fan of Tom Hanks, aka Jim Lovell, giving his son shit for saying he needs to get a haircut. Well, the kid had like a buzz cut, and he was like, "Get a haircut."
Goddamn
What the fuck
hippie.
is that? Yeah, exactly. You goddamn hippie.
I
don't
agree with him.
understand
I
that.
think all you need to get a haircut. You know?
Yeah,
Goddamn
he should have clapped
hippies.
back. I mean, that kid would have seen Dirty Harry at that point, right? So he would have been like, "When you do," and been able to clap back with that shit. Like, dude, come on. And there was a clip where they have Tom Hanks, where he's got the stereotypical like 5 foot long, tall hair,
Yeah, the
with
forehead's
the
like 15
balding at
feet.
the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, dude.
So yeah, after Kevin does a an 8th grade sexual demonstration, penetration demonstration with a Budweiser bottle, then the moon landing's about to happen. The whole party gathers around the TV. Couple of jokes, and then we hear Neil Armstrong's famous words. What are they, Bill?
Oh boy.
Where's the
I don't-
beef?
Max got it. Max got it.
Bingo, Max. Where's the beef?
Where's the beef? Damn it.
And then he just spread
You
his
wish you
hands
had paid
out in the
attention in
air.
school.
Just started doing a little bit of a little chest shimmy to the camera.
If the moon landing happened today, Neil Armstrong would have had a sponsor,
Yeah.
Yes.
and he would have had. It would have been his spacesuit would have been like a fucking NASCAR.
It would be like Red Bull.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
This
Yeah.
landing made possible by Apple Fitbit watch. I don't
Yep.
know the fucking
One small,
brands there.
one small step for man, enjoying a delicious, refreshing, and energetic Monsters energy drink.
Red Bull gives you wings, and he jumps, and the lack of gravity lets him spin off into the space.
Oh, fuck!
I'm not coming down.
We made the wrong calculations!
See, gentlemen, you're not aiming high enough. You need to sponsor the moon in its entirety.
That would happen. That would happen.
Is there actually international law that's not allowed to happen?
No, there is. It's like Antarctica, where it's not. You're not allowed to like.
But at the
commercialize
same
it.
time, it doesn't quite matter because there was also international agreement that no one could have space military, and Trump did that, and everyone was like, well,
Well, that's just it.
Okay.
International law there's no such thing. That's just everyone being
It's
like,
bullshit.
yeah, all right, that sounds nice. But like, if anybody decides to say, fuck it, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Nothing.
no.
It's a
What, the
loophole.
UN
It's-
involved, Bill? Oh, I'm
Yeah,
shaking
exactly.
in my
Well,
boots.
It's intergalactic, so it's a loophole.
Ooh.
You're off this
Nice.
planet. Doesn't count anymore.
Nice.
But
Nah, man, all you got to do,
It's-
I spoke to God. He said it's okay.
Yeah, there we go. That works too.
But what we're talking about here is like the exact reason why I love this movie so much, and why I think like the space program in general is like one of the truly unquestionable good things the United States has ever done. Like, you cannot sit around and be like, no, there's all these there's all these problems with the space program. It's like, no, we fucking decided to go to the fucking moon, and we did it.
Kennedy said in his 1961 inauguration that we're going to go to the moon, and everyone's like, dude, why would you say that? He's like, and we're going to go by the end of this decade. It's like, no!
Right.
We haven't even gotten to
And then we
space
gathered
yet.
up all the smart people in the United States, a
And
couple
all
of
the
smart
Nazis.
Germans,
Yes.
and we went to the fucking moon like bosses.
Yeah. with
Yeah.
the sophistication of a graphing calculator to get there, which is insane.
Dude,
Well, as they joke about later in the movie, no, they just literally took up. They have half the PhDs in the entire planet in one room. They just took them all. Like, yeah, some of them were Nazis. Some of them were homegrown and what, but they just threw them all into a room. And it was like, we're gonna make this happen. We have duct tape. We don't have a pocket pussy yet, but we're gonna make this happen. We have a shit ton of coffee. Let's do it. And everyone said,
all
okay.
this Nazis amphetamines too. Thank God.
Oh hell yeah, dude! That and fucking Benzedrine, dude.
Greenies. Yep.
Yeah, so after the party, after the moon landing, then we find Marilyn, Jim's wife, and Jim out in the backyard looking up at the moon, talking about its significance before they play hide the rocket.
Those two did not fit on that little back patio fucking chair in the least bit. And that's everyone trying to have sex on a beach for the first time. You just end up going for the fucking splinter-laden, like wooden structure that you have, and it's way worse than the sand.
That was the first comment that Sam and I had when that scene played out. We were like, there's no way that chair holds him. And if it does, man, what good quality craftsmanship.
They don't make them like they used to.
It's a NASA-built
Don't
chair,
it?
Bill.
That's like no, that's a 1960s like solid steel with like painted with like lead paint chair.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Spray
could
with
defend your home
asbestos.
with that. I mean, straight
Indiana
up, you
Jones
could
could survive a nuclear blast somehow riding that.
we've seen it done.
So Tom
We've
Hanks,
seen it done.
Tom Hanks, and I don't know who the wife's name is in this, but they did a very believable job of being shit faced in that scene too.
Yeah.
Oh, Kathleen Quinlan.
There you go.
She was wonderful. I loved
was
her.
really good in
She's
this.
actually.
She's very. I don't know. I don't know what else she's been in, but she was fantastic in this.
She looks like somebody from the late 60s too.
Yeah.
Like her face is like, you don't see faces like that anymore. Like she looks like if they took a photo from like a 1960s camera, like they'd be like, oh, that's Nana when she was younger.
Yeah, and also I gotta tell you, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no.
no.
She propositioned. So,
Dude, I mean, so you dig the honeycomb too.
yeah, dude.
I'm down with the honeycomb.
Fuck
You got
yeah,
my
I'm
motor
down
running.
with tall hair.
Bigger the hair, the better.
Yeah, seriously.
I want
wanna
the
be
thing to come
intimidated by
unbuttoned.
Oh wow, she was in The Hills Have Eyes.
The original?
2006.
Oh.
Which was holy shit. Okay, so this is interesting. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little bit of research on her and look for another movie called Wild Thing.
All right.
So
Research for later. Sorry.
So, anyways, yeah, after the moon landing and their little sexcapade in the backyard, Jim starts giving a tour to a bunch of political cunts, fucking walking around the space center there. And then he finds out that he's going to be going to the moon on the crew of Apollo 13 because the other guys got sick.
Alan
And
Shepard.
Yep.
we get to see the most heinous jumpsuit ever worn by a man. Banana colored polo, banana color fucking slip on pants, banana colored like jump jacket, this whole situation. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Nobody else flagged on that outfit. Okay, we're moving.
I was a big
I
fan of it.
didn't pick up on it.
I liked it.
Tim liked it.
I was a big fan of it.
I love the there was one line that jumped out at me there that just like, has not, maybe doesn't age well in current liberal society, but when there's that one senator that's like questioning whether they should be funding the space program, and Tom Hanks comes back with that real zinger, like, what if Columbus had never returned? And it's like, tell you what, all those Native Americans that wouldn't have gotten genocide probably would have been pretty happy about it.
Yeah, there would have been a really annoying white girl Twitter, like she would have been like fucking tweeting in the back today being like, I guess NASA's racist against Indians.
Time to cancel NASA.
Yeah.
It already is canceled. Well,
Yeah, no kidding.
it just came back.
Who says we can't be moderate? Who says we can't be moderate? Oh, sorry, we're
Society.
getting.
Okay, so yeah, after they find out they're going to be on Apollo 13, Jim rushes home to tell Marilyn, proves he's a very attentive dad, and And Marilyn proves that she's a superstitious nutbag.
I don't know. That was like one of the beginning portions of like, wow, Tom's a fucking asshole in this entire movie, where she's like, why does it need to be the number 13? And it's like, well, it's what comes after 12. You're a fucking dumbass.
I
And then
thought
just
that was
walks out.
I liked it. I liked it.
It was great, but it was like, shit.
I don't think that's
considering
him
what
being
happens
mean.
the rest
I
of
don't
the
think
movie.
that's. I mean, he ends up being very wrong, obviously, but I just think that's. I think that's a way of like kind of trying to make her feel better. 13's not unlucky. It's just the number that follows 12. You're making too big of a deal out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
And the fact that he presented it in a condescending tone to talk down to her is because she's a woman.
Mhm.
You mean you have to, you
a
have
woman
to.
in the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
All
Once
the more,
again,
yeah.
who says that we aren't moderate?
Would you have preferred, John, if he just looked at her, he's like, Marilyn, you're out of your environment. Get back in the kitchen, okay? Please, for the love of God. Get out of the hallway, back into the kitchen. I don't see you folding laundry right now, so what are you doing here?
If he just started going like this, like craning his ear, and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, I don't hear the vacuum running."
Who let you out of your cage?
Oh, no, I understand. Oh, one sec. It's odd. I don't smell dinner cooking either. It's weird.
And my
Get
throat
to work,
is...
Marilyn.
I'm quite parched, and I don't seem to see a beer in my hand, Marilyn.
Interesting.
I named a mountain after you on the fucking moon, Marilyn. How about you get off my goddamn back?
And I can't get a course when I get home.
I think the thing that seemed like kind of a dick move to me was the fact that they apparently had a vacation to like Acapulco planned, and he's just like, well, fuck all you guys, I'm going to the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
My time to shine.
And she doesn't question it at all.
No,
That's another difference to today. If any of us ever did that, it doesn't matter if we were going to the moon. Our wives would be like, no, you're not.
Yep.
We're
We can go to the moon next year.
yeah.
We already paid for this vacation.
Yeah.
All right.
No, you're gonna stay on Apollo 14 like we planned. That's on the
Yes.
schedule. It's in the calendar.
14 comes after 13, hun.
Yes, dear.
Okay, fine.
Both his fists are clenching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So then,
I'm absolutely terrified of my wife.
same. So then, cut scene to the 13 crew in the simulator, and the boys expertly put a camera onto a toy.
They do.
Also,
Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan and Forrest back-to-back years in movies. I think this is honestly the first time I've ever seen this movie. I don't remember this movie at all. I did not know that Gary Sinise was in this movie, so it's kind of weird to see Gary Sinise as like a charming, adorable person and not like a decrepit, like half cut in half human who's just bitter at the world.
Right. Constantly
Lieutenant
banging
Dan.
hookers.
Well, yeah. Was there any tie between this and Forrest Gump? How did the two of them end up together again on like such a big movie?
I think it was basically like, well, he did well as a military man before. He'll do well as an astronaut. I don't know. He's fucking stringent. He's rigid, and he's still a virgin. He's perfect for aeronautics.
This might be a bold statement, but I mean, Gary Sinise, I thought, had a better performance in both of those movies. I think he was better than Forrest. He was better than this dude. Like, he stole both.
No, he's
every
great.
scene that he's in, he steals.
I think that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, most movies. I mean, even Mission to Mars, excellent.
Yeah.
Absolutely excellent. He made me cry.
So let's see here. What do we got? So Marilyn. So after their first,
By the way,
okay,
so
we're
the list-
making a note
so-
of this time.
So Tim is rolling his eyes in the back of his head because this is all by memory. He's just playing the movie in his head, and he forgot to hit pause.
where are we at here? We're fast
Hold on.
forward.
And then rewind a little bit.
Yeah. So after their first simulator session, Marilyn has a traumatic, vivid dream the next morning. And then Jim decides he's going to traumatize his young son, about telling him about a fire at work. And then Marilyn. Oh yeah, so that's good for that scene. We can discuss. If
Well, I mean, Bill basically it boils into this nightmare being Final Destination in space, and then he transfers that same fear and just terror to his son. Yes. Very responsible.
Did you know the guys that burned in the ship? Yeah. Fucking great guys. They all fucking burned up in that ship. They're dead.
They had kids.
They all had sons. They all had sons that looked and just reminded me a lot of you, and now they're dead too.
It was a very simple thing. The door just wouldn't open. They couldn't get out of their fire capsule, and they burned to death. It was a real interesting scientific experiment. We learned a lot from it.
The last thing that they scrawled on the inside of the cockpit, it said, "It's my son's fault." All right, have a good day, son.
Bap, bap, bap.
Yeah. So, after Jim traumatizes his son, then that night, Marilyn and Jim are drunk driving somewhere again, and probably do an orgy, I'd imagine, right? And then,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
A key swap with fucking Kevin Bacon. Yeah,
Yeah, then Marilyn tells Jim, I'm not going to lunch. And then Jim promptly diminishes a mother's duties like a real man.
Question. Was the guy who tried to drag race drunk Tom Hanks driving like a drunk teenager, was that Gary Busey?
No, that was not Gary Busey.
No.
Okay,
It'd be
I
great
saw
if
the
it was.
teeth and there was a little bit of the hair and shit, and I was like, dude, that looks just like fucking.
It could have
Let's
been
say-
Gary
let's
Busey's
say- let's
son or
say-
something.
Let's go with it. Let's just say
that's
it
true.
was.
Oh, it's Gary Busey.
Okay, yeah, so it was fucking Gary Busey. Sorry, I have a hard time missing those chompers, man. They were there.
Hey, Woody, you want to race to the moon? I got a head start. Peels out on a red light still. Smashes into a truck.
I saw a Bigfoot, and you can't tell me different.
All right, moving on. Yeah. So then the crew has to start doing some press. Jim lets on that they get a bunch of superstition questions from these moron reporters. And then Jim tells everyone it's going to be his last flight.
Premature. You never do that beforehand. Bad move. I mean, unless you're looking to take the retirement tour like all the people in the MLB and the NBA do now, where they tell people they're going to retire 3 years in advance, so they get to have like a party at every arena they go to.
Right.
No,
Brett Favre.
you're an astronaut. You wait until you finish your trip to the moon, because he didn't get to step on the moon. And if he hadn't been a fucking dumbass walking around telling everyone that he wasn't going to go up again, maybe he could have gone up again.
Exactly. Just wrote himself out of the next movie.
I just feel like that's why you beat it before a public appearance, because that way you have that clarity when you're walking into those situations, and you can really see that far into the future, because you do have superpowers for about 10 minutes afterwards. Usually a lot of regret.
Yeah,
That's why I masturbate every hour, because I'm not sure what's going to happen in that hour.
Cut to the Tom Hanks gif of him all sweaty with his eyes rolling up in his head that we send in our group text like every other day.
Yeah.
Also, so these astronauts, like, they have to do this PR stuff. I mean, not only do they have to be like mathematical and scientific geniuses inside of like a linebacker body who can also do like decathlons with like their endurance, but then also they have to like be quick on their feet and answer questions in front of like a national televised audience. It's a lot.
They are like the perfect people.
yeah.
Like,
most of them are all
astronauts
war
back then
heroes.
were the perfect people.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's crazy. It's like they all lived together too. My wife watched the show. It's called Astronauts Wives Club, which she loved, and Wives Club, excuse me. And it was only on for one season, but it's just about that. It's just about all the families. They all kind of lived in the same neighborhood in Houston. I mean, they even say that in this. Like, they're talking about Neil Armstrong's wife on like a first name basis.
Right.
Well, and like Neil and Buzz go over later to to console Jim's mother or something through the process. Like which was a hilarious scene.
That's my favorite scene. We'll get there.
You
That's
boys
my
in the
favorite
space program too?
Just cut camera. Like, let that sit in.
They just whack her over the head with for the serving tray.
Literally, at that time, the most famous people on the planet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boomers.
So then we get a bombshell here, though, fellas. We find out that Ken But the crew's been exposed to the measles, and Ken hasn't had the measles, so he might get the measles on the mission. So then, the higher ups at NASA tell Jim that the whole team gets scrapped, or Ken doesn't go, and you gotta take Jack Swaggart, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, let's take Dick Swagger, fucking walking VD, and we'll send him up there instead. We'll give the entire crew fucking the clap. It'll be great.
Yeah, he's got a lot more shit going on than measles.
Yeah. Also, I feel like he's at far higher suicide risk in outer space than anybody else. Like, it's just he's a little unstable most of the movie.
I haven't fucked in 8 hours. I'm going crazy.
Yeah, that's why he gets so edgy in the middle of the movie.
So, can I jerk off in space or no? No one's answered this question for me yet. I need to know.
Nah, dude, the salt content, it crystallizes in 0G. It's really rough. You don't want to do that.
All right, so is this where we're going to talk about how Tom Hanks is kind of an asshole?
Sure, you can do it.
All right. Go ahead, bring it up.
So this is a mixed bag, and I had an argument with my wife about this too, because her side of it was, this is his last mission. You got to do what you got to do for your own family, and then you're going to be out. And then for me, what I was saying is that Tom Hanks is the captain of the team. You should do it as a team, or you don't do it at all. Gary Sinise had put in all this prep. He was their guy. And then Tom Hanks just goes, oh, well, that sucks for you. I'm going to still go to the fucking moon because I want to go to the moon. Fuck you, dude. Have fun. Sorry for ruining your dreams, but we can't all have the same dream.
I completely agree with Nikki. It's his last mission.
Well, and on top of that, like, so he would, if he decides, Max, like you're saying, to say, like, no, we're a team doesn't go. So Fred Hayes doesn't get a say in this? You just fucked Fred Hayes' chance of going to the moon, too.
No, they're going to go next.
I mean, they're going to go. I don't know.
Not after he dies from the measles when he re-enters the atmosphere. They didn't do that in the deleted scenes, but it's there.
I don't know. I get what you're saying. I see, and I think that Tom Hanks does a pretty good job of portraying that, like, it was a tough choice or something like that. But I got to agree. I got to agree with Dickie on this one too. I think he made the right call. He doesn't have to sacrifice everything for this guy.
So I think that he made the right call, but only using hindsight 2020, and they tie it in a little bit where he's talking about how when he was a fighter pilot and, he saw the green algae simply because all of his onboard electronics and lighting failed when he was in the fighter jet. Everything happened for a reason, and everything went wrong for a reason, or at least certain things did, especially having our buddy Gary Sinise, Ken, on the ground being the guy who figures out the issue with power later on. So if he would have been in outer space, it might not have happened.
That's why they told that story. That was Kevin a good
Bacon.
pickup, John. That's why they told that story. Because,
like, did you see Jack down there in the fucking in the simulator, just jacking it while he's trying to figure out how to do this with a flashlight?
Jack would have had like a fucking disco ball in there. He would have had broads in there.
You guys, I gotta tell you what, you guys don't give Jack enough credit. Jack did a pretty damn good job in this movie.
No,
as far
Jack
as I'm
did do a
concerned.
good job, but Jack also fucks.
Yes, he does. Mm-hmm. Which is also my next note I'm looking at. Kevin Bacon fucks.
Jack fucks.
That's the next note. Again, I have that multiple times in this.
Right. I think the biggest thing that we can take away from this scene is that measles are a hoax. They never existed. It was all a government ploy to get people to take more vaccines, which just got you to buy Microsoft products. We all know that now. So Ken never got the measles, which is proof right there.
Yeah.
Measles are a hoax.
Exactly. Measles are a hoax. So is COVID. Don't get your shots.
I'm just so happy that our parents actively tried killing us by infecting us knowingly with a disease when we were kids. But,
Oh, the chicken pox?
Chicken pox turns into measles.
That's not even a thing anymore, chicken pox.
I know.
It's because of us. Thanks to us.
Yeah, exactly.
We broke the cycle.
No,
we broke the goddamn cycle with our bodies.
Have the scars to prove it.
Yeah, so then after Jim tells Fred that he's not going to be on the mission, Jack gets a call.
Your dreams mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
Go on, Tim.
Hey, Ken, get the fuck out of here.
You're fucking out.
That's how
We
Jim.
can talk to our higher ups. We can change their mind. This is my call. You're fucking out of here.
You're fucking out.
Yeah, I mean, he's a real leader in this, and especially because he's looking out for himself.
I like it. I think he did the right thing.
Now, I agree, but I can still give him shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Tom Hanks.
So Jack gets the call, and he's almost pulled into this, can't even leave the shower. He's fucking so hard. So anyways, so Jack's on the team now. They get into the simulator with him, and they find out he's a wild card. Okay, folks, because he gets like one little glitch thrown at him, and he's like, I'm going manual. And they all die in the simulator.
Good start.
Well,
Yeah.
And then we find out, too, that, like, he hasn't been in the simulator for, like, months. And there's 3 days until the launch. There is no way that would, like, that crew would fly right now. That launch would get scrubbed 100 times.
Considering that our entire generation got through our collegiate career by cramming shit in the matter of 12 hours before we had to do some big shit that actually meant whether or not we lived or died later in life, whether or not our parents would kill us or the federal government would come for us. I totally get it. He crammed. He made it happen.
He did.
Why couldn't they just postpone it for like 2 weeks and then like just have the regular team come out and do it? Like, why did they have to do it that day?
Racing the Russians.
But they already went to the moon. They already won.
They already been there.
Game's over.
We
already won.
Also, thanks, Russia, for playing into capitalism and competing with us so that way we won. That was super fun.
Yeah, we won, and then you guys they completely destroyed your entire empire over a 30-year period because of that.
Saying that the Americans won is a little bit of a whitewashing of how that actually went, considering they won like 90% of the things that were trying to be done. We got to the moon first, but they did pretty much everything else first.
Doesn't matter.
Well,
what flag's on the moon, Bill? That's all that matters. Stars and stripes.
FedEx is going to be sponsoring the moon in 20 years. It's okay. Sir, we want it.
God bless America.
We got McDonald's and the moon. That's all we need.
Imagine if we have a remake of Castaway and Tom Hanks gets stuck on the moon. How fun would that be?
With Elon Musk.
Wilson!
It's floating away in space.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Wilson.
Wilson! Wilson!
So after Jack's objective failure in the simulator, the crew, the night before the launch, the crew does a send-off night with their family from across the road, and Marilyn actually shows up.
Socially distancing, too.
Some social distancing, too. Yeah.
Wow.
That was what I picked up on, too.
Un-American thing that anybody can do.
Dr. Fauci was there. A young Dr. Fauci was there.
Yeah, Dr. Fauci there with a lollipop.
Wear your masks.
Yeah, I know, he's already instantly come out of the womb 70 years old.
Exactly.
He's one of those poor guys.
My one note I did, well, we already kind of talked about this, but my note here says, side note, I'd give it to Marilyn Lovell.
Good. I'm glad we got that brought back in. We needed that.
I'm breaking protocol.
So
I'm going for it.
Could you imagine if that happened? Like if astronauts did that, where they would just like bust through the line and just like have a cordial visit, like right there in the dirt. You just see the sand and dirt just raising up into the air.
Fred, let's trade. My wife's pregnant. Who gives a shit? Means she can't get pregnant again. Good idea.
High five. That means she puts out.
I want my unborn son to have also seen your cock like I have. Like, let's do this. They're bonding.
It's the innuendo of that huge rocket in the background with a bunch of lights, strobe lights, like flinging around it.
Jesus.
Ed Harris is in the background just being, they're going up into space. Let's give them a little leeway.
I can't wait until there's a Slate article that comes out about how NASA is problematic because of the masculine imagery of a rocket.
Phallic.
And it was just like, well, how would they have done it?
How do you
They
fly
should have built a vagina.
I don't understand what that looks like.
Well, the vaginas are for the aliens, okay? That's why. They get the discs. Yeah. We got the big dick rocket, all right?
Right.
Yeah, when a fucking flying manta ray comes out of outer space, yeah, that'll be your vagina.
Yeah. When the rocket
big old curtains.
When the rocket launches, everyone knows it. It is extremely loud, and you can hear it and see it from miles away. When an alien, when a UFO that's a little disc flies around, you don't know. You never know.
Yeah.
Well,
They could be
very,
faking
very
it.
eloquent. It's very. It could be faking it. It's just so easy, like they're aliens.
Who knows if it's real or not?
Way up.
It's
I think
Very
unidentifiable.
eloquent landing. As
I
opposed
think
to us.
based on what I learned from John during the Jurassic Park episode is that a female designed spaceship would have to have lots of teeth and it would have to spit tar at you.
No, that's just for Space Force. We're talking about NASA. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's just for Space Force. So no,
Fair
like
enough.
if we're going after somebody in space and we got to fucking just rip a jugular out, hell yeah, dude. We got teeth, we got acid, we got all that shit. But with NASA,
Toothy vagina, Bill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
the guns are the teeth. It's metaphorical.
Okay,
Strip and all. Okay.
so the guys,
Somebody fucking save me.
the guys are getting ready for the launch with some good old fashioned NASA traditions of getting shaved by Nazis. And
What was with that? Why did they start talking like Germans?
because there were a lot of Germans in the space program.
Yes,
Okay.
we just took them.
Yeah,
Okay.
Some could say there wouldn't have been a space
Paper
program
Operation
without them.
Paperclip.
They would absolutely
Yeah.
not be. The guy who was in charge of NASA was a Nazi.
Yeah,
Yeah, Vonner Van Braut, whatever
Werner
it was.
Van
But yeah,
Braun.
he designed the V2 rocket.
yeah,
that just
Van
blew the
Braun.
fuck out of London.
so
Wasn't he Ava's brother or something? Like,
I think
it's
so.
something
No, it
like
was Ava
that.
Brown or whatever.
Dude,
I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's a lie.
America.
Moving on.
America.
So the crew gets suited up for the launch, and they head up to the tower. And then we meet the guys at Mission
No, wait,
Control.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry.
Are you about to make a tower power joke? Don't do that.
No. During that getting dressed scene, I didn't know we were talking about. So during that getting dressed scene, Kevin Bacon says that he has this weird interaction with the guys. He spits his gum into another grown man's
No,
hand.
that was
That's-
Fredo. That was Bill
No,
Paxton.
that was Kevin. That was Bill Paxton.
Who spit his gum
fine,
into-
whatever. Doesn't matter.
That was good.
Kevin
Yeah,
Bacon
Bill.
said this weird thing. He's, I'm going to give these guys a beautiful ride. And the guy that responds says, I'm sure you will, Jack. And it was just the most childish, confusing, weird interaction in the entire movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to give these guys a good ride. I'm sure you will, Jack. I'm sure you will.
Everyone treats Jack, throughout this entire movie, everyone treats Jack like a child. And
They do.
there's one scene that I want to mention later in the movie, but we'll get there. But that I get physically angry every time I see it because they treat Jack like a child and undeservingly.
They really do. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, after they go up to the top of the rocket there, we meet the guys in Mission Control. We meet Gene Kranz, the fucking boss of this movie. And
Yeah, buddy.
Dude.
the flight director, who gets a snazzy vest from his wife. And there's just a lot of red meat, cigarettes, and coffee and whiskey going on in that place.
Does he get a new vest for every launch?
That was a real thing. Yeah. So his wife would stitch a vest for every single launch because he did all the Mercury and all the Apollo missions.
Yep.
He was the director for all of them. So he had some wild ones. I went through a little rabbit hole of just looking up his vests. He had some crazy looking ones too that were not appealing. He lucked out on this one.
Was the Apollo 13 one actually like that, like all white like that?
Yeah.
Because that was a sweet vest.
Yeah, I liked it.
That's the most unrealistic part of the movie is the fact that thing isn't just stained with ash burns. And fucking
Oh, yeah,
rock
for sure.
by the end of this.
Just brown from all the cigarettes just in the control center.
Yeah, just turning
I mean,
yellow
why-
by the end of it.
Why else did they basically paint it with all of those earth tone colors so that way it just doesn't change?
Ed Harris looking like a stud in this movie too. This is the youngest I think I've seen Ed Harris in a movie in a long time.
Motherfucker.
You look good, and he was swinging his dick around.
Very
Dude,
chiseled
black
face.
coffee, drinking, cowboy killer smoking, frosty tip, snowman motherfucker.
I couldn't
dude.
think
That's
of anything else
intense.
that he's been in other than Westworld. What else? Where else have I seen his face?
The Rock. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. Just playing a fucking rogue Navy SEAL just out to just
He's the
fucking
main-
collect heads.
He's the one who
He's in
invades
Gone Girl,
Alcatraz.
too.
He's in Gone Girl. He has a flat top in Gone Girl as well.
Yeah.
All right.
You know him from The Abyss. That's where you know him from.
The Abyss, yep. He's
Yeah.
also National Treasure. He was the villain in, I think, the first one.
Oh,
course he
right.
was.
Okay.
He played
plays-
No,
plays
he
a good
was the villain in the second.
the second one, Sean Bean, the villain in the first one.
Sean Bean's the villain of the first one. Yeah.
Okay. He got nominated for playing Pollock, the painter, back in the day.
Yep.
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 He's a good actor. I like him.
It's great. Yeah, so
Very
I had just
accurate.
recently rewatched, or not rewatched, I watched season 3 of Westworld, and, I mean, he's so old and just bitter and, like, decaying in that movie, so seeing him in this, I'm like, damn, all right.
Yeah.
Look good, Ed. You look healthy.
So yeah, the next like few minutes of the movie are basically just they're awesome, but they're basically just the launch. And I just gotta say, like, however they shot this, I mean, it could not have been better. It felt like you were on a fucking. It felt like they launched a rocket into space and filmed it.
Great
It was
CGI.
so good.
Was that CGI?
There's definitely CGI in this movie, and it holds up. I mean, that shows it right there that you couldn't even tell.
No, I couldn't. I just
really
assumed
good.
it was all practical effects.
They
So
practically
good.
revolved around the. They went around the whole surface of the moon and all that too.
Right. Yeah, it was so good. Every it's part of the reason why this movie's so good is because all that stuff is flawless.
Mm-hmm.
What was the deal? So when the liftoff ignition was happening, there was like a ton of like just white shit falling off of the rocket. Was that like ice? What the hell was that?
It's ice, yeah. It's because everything, like all the fuel's really cold.
Okay. All right.
I love those, just the old school rockets too. Those
Yeah.
old rockets are so cool before the shuttles.
I mean,
dude,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, solid fuel. Yeah, it's
so
intense.
they're
dude.
really
Just-
cool, but like Jesus Christ, the amount of waste.
Yes.
Like fucking, just like you get the things that get you up out of the atmosphere, fucking trash those. You get like the first burn from the other things, fucking trash those. Like everything.
Such an American move.
Yeah, it's great.
Just throwing shit, just littering all over space. We've barely
Well,
been to space for the first time. We're already dumping half of it. Just
The
fuck
only
it.
thing that would have been more American is if those things fell into a third world country.
Yes, on fire and just like nuked a country.
And then we sell it
Yeah.
sell it to the rest of the country as like, and it gives them jobs because they get to recycle the metal.
Actually, no, they don't. We need that back. They can't look at our technology. Kill them.
Well, exactly. So, like, the thing that actually breaks back through when they land back in the Pacific Ocean or whichever ocean they land in. I mean, if it wasn't for the Chinese or Russians, like, they would just let it float away.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
that. That would
just
just
leave
become part of the Cabbage Patch Kids thing that's floating around in the oceans. You know, it would.
Yep.
Yeah. That did blow my mind when I was a little kid. The first time I learned that huge rocket, it just continually just gets broken apart and just thrown away
Smaller and smaller and smaller.
to the
Yep.
point that you're just in like a storage closet for the rest of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's
It's
insane.
crazy.
It's nuts.
It's because that's just honestly speaks to the scale of how much power you need to like get out of the Earth's orbit.
Is that a
John.
cat? What is that?
Yeah, well, John, what was going on there? You had somebody in your background?
other side.
Oh, that's Lisa.
Bill
Hey, at
thought
least
he were
y'all
going to
noticed
see
it. I
like a
didn't even
fucking
notice it.
murder here.
Yeah, it's like
Let's do it. Let's see it. We can
No, I
make this
got
a
the
true
noise
crime
canceling.
podcast.
I've got the noise canceling headphones. I can't hear the half goddamn thing. So,
Yeah, so then center engine number 5 during the launch goes out and Jim stupidly says, I think that's our glitch for the mission. Spoiler, it's not.
Boy. It is not. No.
dude, even the high school projectors that they have for presentations break later in the movie. Like, everything breaks.
Right.
We can totally trust the government by the end of this movie in every way.
It is a miracle that they fucking made it back alive. I cannot believe that they did.
So many things had to work in their
Oh
favor.
my God,
Fucking
like,
miracle.
dude, like for those couple years, like, yeah, honestly, the talent pool was really good at improvisation, but really bad at planning. Planning wasn't a thing.
Yeah. That's for sure. So after the they complete their burns, they're out of the Earth's orbit, and they have to now go separate from the LEM and redock with it. And it's all on Swaggart. It's painfully obvious the guys do not trust Jack.
There is an amazing lack of confidence in a person that they fucking just sent into space.
Right, exactly.
Guys, if you don't trust the person to not kill everyone, maybe scrub the mission.
Yeah,
Postpone. Again. Yeah.
There's better
Jesus
things to do
Christ.
here, guys. Postponing is a minor embarrassment. Having 3 astronauts die on national TV is a much bigger embarrassment.
And like that's not like
you're not going to be able to launch again if that happens.
It's painfully obvious for like the 2 guys in the ship, but like they're also making a point of showing that like in the command center in NASA that like they're all like, oh boy, is he going to pull it off? It's like, why do you have that question? This is not the time to be asking that question.
Right. So, what was the space shuttle that blew up? It was Challenger. Yeah,
Challenger.
So there's a documentary on the Challenger and like how it kind of all lit up, and NASA has like a strange predilection to just kind of roll the dice on shit because the people from the company who made the rockets for the space shuttle, for the Challenger space shuttle, they had all these problems and they kept saying before launch, you shouldn't launch. Every single engineer like in that company was like, don't launch, it's not safe. And then NASA's like, we're gonna do it anyways.
So how many buildings have you worked on that they just didn't listen?
Oh, dude. Honestly, this is the reason why I'm like obsessed with NASA, because I don't design, I don't engineer like anything close to sending someone to the moon. And just flat out, I can't get anything right. So I can't imagine how these guys are really smart. I can't imagine.
I mean, also, and it's also like they throw like 10,000 very specialized engineers with 10,000 different specialties, at an issue. And I guess.
Oh, I mean, like obviously the manpower is, but it's just like, dude, I walk out and people are like, why'd you put that there? I'm like, I don't know. Fucked it up, man. And it's like that's like a pipe, It's not like a rocket.
Hey, you know what? You would have at least built an electric fence powerful enough to evaporate fucking Timmy from Jurassic Park. So at least you could do that. I mean, easily. The first try.
But no, NASA has a weird thing with like rolling the dice on that shit. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
I mean, what was the
gamblers.
odds? What were the odds of them surviving Apollo 11? Wasn't it like a 30% chance of them even just like successfully making it back alive, let alone like landing on the moon?
Well, like they do that later where they're like, where Nixon's on the phone, like, you dickheads need to fucking tell me what's happening. And then he's like, well, just tell them it's 3 to 1 chance they make it back. Like,
it's like 3 to 1's too high.
Yeah, I know. Now, like, you don't understand. The White House actually has bets on this. You got to tell me.
Oh,
Nixon's a degenerate.
Yeah, Nixon's just figuring out what political tact he needs to take. If they blow up, they'll be like, I never thought NASA was a good idea. This was all Kennedy's idea. Okay, so Swagger gets the lem. He kills it. Everyone's like, phew. And so Jim's family heads to the Mission Control TV broadcast where they find out that no one actually gives a shit about this mission anymore, and all the TV so networks dropped it.
It's so fucked up.
I love just before that, they're going. I don't understand why this needed to be in the movie. They're gonna go. So Bill Paxton just prior had like one of the most gross vomits in a movie I've ever seen. Like that was fucking disgusting. I really hated that.
Yeah, I was eating dinner when that happened.
I was eating
man.
too, and I was upset that it actually wasn't full 0G because the first like splat like aerosolizes, it's just like, shoosh, and I was like, dude, that's not in 0G. And then like he lets out one big old fucking floppity bubble, just
blurb, yeah.
Yeah, no,
and
mine.
It's like it's mostly yellow, which just makes me feel like immediately like, oh, that's that bile that burns. Oh, yeah, fuck that. Like that was gross.
Oh, that's the best part, man. What are you working?
The acid from your stomach is great.
It's great, right, dude? You're changing your oil. It's fine.
Right after Swaggart like successfully docks the ship, they turn. They're gonna have like some food, And Jim says, and Bill Paxton says, like, I could eat the ass out of a dead rhinoceros.
That is such a Bill Paxton ad lib right there. He was known for that shit. The second that happened, I just went to Nikki. I'm like, he definitely made that up on spot because that is the most Bill Paxton thing to say.
Ron Howard was like,
Texas?
"Cut! What the fuck, Bill?"
And they leave it in anyway. Yeah.
There's a line in, I'm sure you've seen it, Tim, that Schwarzenegger movie, True Lies, when he's talking about Jamie Lee Curtis, and he's describing Bill Paxton is describing Jamie Lee Curtis, and he says something like, she's got like titties that you want to drink breast milk out of, or buttermilk out of, and an ass like a 12-year-old boy. Just like, Jesus Christ. Fucking Bill Paxton. He says the weirdest shit.
Dude, he should have run for president, honestly. Like, if we were going to have a dickhead in fucking office, like, that should have been him.
I love Bill Paxton.
Poor guy. He passed, didn't he?
Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Um.
Oh,
I'm
one more
fucking
time. I'm
over,
sorry,
man.
Tim. One more
I
thing,
can't
too.
believe.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead. No.
Hold on. We have to let Paco speak real quick. We have to rewind 15 minutes. Hold on.
This is the most Paco thing, too, because it's just that scene with Tom Hanks peeing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Constellation Urine.
Well, I was actually surprised we didn't see a little skin there. If they were really going to make this realistic, there could have been a little bit of skin.
Well, one of the senators back in that previous scene had specifically asked how they pee or how do they go to the bathroom.
Bill, she was a
like
woman.
that.
She wasn't a senator.
Sender's mistress, Bill.
Yeah.
Good correction, Tim. Good correction. So like I thought it was a nice callback to that, but it was still weird. It was weird that we just watched him, like, he's obviously urinating right now, holding his dick. We're just watching this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's peeing through a hose. And then after that, they show, like a few minutes later when they're on TV, Bill Paxton is like eating some kind of like yellow gumdrop, like liquid things.
Yeah.
Nikki's like, are they eating each other's piss on TV? like, I don't think so.
This isn't a fraternity haze, okay? This is not the elephant walk. It's not that serious.
No wonder why the networks turned it off. Like, oh my God, they're drinking each other's piss.
Oh, dear Christ.
It's just one
Turn
big
it
porn.
Turn it off.
I mean, we've seen those movies. I think that basically zero G sex is just like the fucking beach. It sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that. I don't have anything to add to it. I feel like it would
Sex
be
and
terrible.
water.
Appreciate that.
I just agree.
Yes. Okay.
I got to just say, in general, like getting back to the scene that Tim actually set us up for, where the fact that they're supposed to be like broadcasting live and all the networks drop them. This made me so mad, and then I realized how much of an asshole I myself am, because like this is Apollo 13. Apollo 11 was 2 launches ago, and America just doesn't give a shit anymore. Are you fucking kidding me, America? You fucking suck. But then I was like, you know what? Like, there's literally space launches all the time. Like, I don't like him, but Elon Musk and like that company is doing pretty amazing stuff. I don't fucking give a shit. So like, how the fuck? Why do I care? Like, I can't really judge these people, but at the same time, I can because I'm an American and I'm selfish. So fuck the people from the 1960s.
It doesn't help that it's Elon Musk though either.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Also, this all just leads me to believe that, it's really hard being an American, man. It's tough.
It's so hard.
It really
so
is
hard. As I talk
it's
to
fucking hard.
people on each coast of the country, and I'm in the middle.
Right.
And there's no lag. It's so hard. So they got dumped from TV, but some of the things that they're clicking through, one of them is just like a gorilla on TV. It's like, you would rather just watch a documentary on a fucking gorilla than watch people go to space for the 3rd time ever? Or go to the moon for the 2nd time ever?
The second time
they didn't
ever.
land
Like-
on 12.
Well, like also, like, so Lisa was talking about this, where like every school child, like if you were in school, you were watching this thing launch. Like
Yeah.
that makes sense to me, you
Right.
know? So especially, I mean, equally horrific though, when you think about like all the school children were watching Challenger blow up. So
Yeah. Including,
But, like,
including
yeah.
the teacher's kids that were on the Challenger.
fun fact about that video, the only reason it aired was because CNN was like, the new kid on the block, and they were like, we're going to keep rolling. All the other networks pulled away.
CNN sucks.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. It's entertainment television. Like, I'm not down with it, but like, yeah.
Wow.
This was back in the day when they were
Gross.
still raw in the pants.
Raw in the pants.
Green and hungry.
Green and hungry. Chafed dicks. Okay, anyways. So, yeah, so...
Welcome to
during-
CNN, your chafed dick network.
We're gonna give it to you raw on the pants. CNN.
Anderson Cooper
We don't
saying
pull
that.
out.
Dude, don't even joke. I saw Anderson Cooper and fucking do New Year's just getting drunker and drunker and drunker, taking shots on live television. So
Bob Lemon, too. Bob Lemon gets blackout every year. It's great. I love it.
hell yeah, dude.
Anderson Cooper can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's a Vanderbilt.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't
That's
need
true.
to be. He
That's
doesn't need to
true.
be on CNN.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so anyways, so yeah, so then after the TV thing, this is the big inflection point in the movie. The crew signs off, and then they get told by Mission Control to, do a couple things, the last of which being to stir their oxygen tanks, and then boom, all hell breaks loose. There's a big explosion. Everyone immediately blames Jack.
What did you do?
Yeah.
It's like
And
Chris
then
Farley.
The famous
The door.
line, Houston, we have a problem.
That was so great. Is this where it came from?
Yeah.
In like pop culture?
Yep.
Okay. Now, does anybody know if astronauts like would say that? Like we have a
No,
problem?
I think that's
Houston,
a true line. They did say that.
Fucking right, dude. Oh, well, actually, so I forgot about that. They had a little blurb at the beginning of the movie that said like a lot of the dialogue was lifted from actual recordings. So
They definitely take
I
one
love
or
it.
two actual clips too, because you can tell it's not any of the actors' voices. Because like Bill Paxton and Tom Hanks have such prominent, well-known, recognizable voices,
Yep.
and it's like that ain't Kevin Bacon. So that has to be a real audio clip of them.
Huh.
I like the POV critter view though of the whole spaceship getting destroyed. I just in my mind, it's just like those little critters, like
I know.
just like fucking everything up.
Right.
Dude, fucking gremlins. Did we open an investigation to see if this was the gremlins and that they were fucking with us?
Yeah. We concluded it wasn't. We concluded it was leprechauns.
Ah, okay, got it. Yeah. Thanks, Ireland.
Yep, exactly. So after the explosion, Jim sees some gas venting out into space. They conclude it's oxygen from the oxygen tanks, which
Don't
apparently
need
is
that.
not good. Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
That's
Yeah,
not
they're
good.
probably going to need the oxygen for many things, apparently.
Didn't
do without
NASA watch? Didn't they watch Jaws to know that oxygen is not to be trifled with?
Exactly.
Oh, this is pre-Jaws.
Yeah, so Mission Control goes crazy until Gene just like slaps his dick onto the table like a gavel, and everyone just like stops. Gene Kranz is the fucking man. He is like the real life Clint Eastwood. I know Clint Eastwood's
Yeah.
a real person, but like he is fucking awesome.
He's the homecoming
Like-
quarterback. That's what he
Yep.
is. Fucking the
He is, dude.
cheerleader prom queen.
Right.
Nah, dude, he's waiting until like after the game. He's not even going for clarity. He's keeping the rage like all up in his balls for the game, dude. Like
For the
that's
boys.
how fucking for
It's
the
nuts
boys.
for the
That's
boys.
how good he is.
They ain't gay.
Dude, I mean, like, spoiler alert, guess what? The guys get back safe to Earth, and he's the only one who isn't partying when it's all done. He does have a cigar, but like 30 minutes after the fact, where he sat down and been like,
He
it's
weeps.
time.
He cries.
He does cry.
He does.
He
Because he had been holding it up for so long.
Because he's such a man that if anybody called him out on it, he'd straight up murder them. I mean,
Yeah.
like, what are you gonna say something to him? Of course you're not gonna say something to him.
Why do you think Ron Howard's brother
right,
hasn't
dude.
been in any more movies? He died from Gene Kranz's hand. Okay, so
Also, Ron Howard's mom is Tom Hanks's mom in this movie.
oh really?
Oh, get at it.
Hilarious.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
loved her.
then Ron Howard's brother, he's a mission control guy. He says, the only way I think we can stop the leak is to shut down the reaction valves on the fuel cells. We'll skip it. That doesn't work. So
Oops.
so then they have 15 minutes to power up the LEM to use the light boat.
Which was supposed to take 3 hours.
Yep.
If they go by the
15
checklist.
minutes.
And they powered it in
Jesus
15
Christ.
minutes.
They will be dead in 15 minutes if we don't figure something out, guys.
Fuck.
That is the most
That's
intense
insane.
math test in history.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Could you
People
imagine trying to do like long distance algebra and like you're like, I got 5 minutes until I die. I need to make sure this is right.
That should be the new SATs.
Good Lord, while floating in space, freezing your ass off.
Actually, that's
pressure.
Bill's like wet dream.
Yeah, I love it. That sounds great.
Standardized
I'm all
test,
about
you know?
it. Standardized testing is
With a gun to your
make
head?
death a component. Let's do it.
Well, Bill's looking at everyone else like, wait, you didn't prepare for this?
For what?
I was constantly in G-Force while doing these practice exams.
You didn't do it right. No, but really, like, this is, we spoke of an inflection point, where everything really starts to go wrong and it all cascades and, like, the mission's over. We're not going to the moon. We get that, that bad. But just instantly in this moment, I mean, fields of tobacco are just gone. Like,
So true.
with just keeping NASA, like, afloat during this shit. Not to mention, like, the entire, like, coffee market, like, quakes during each mission when it goes south. So, like, these guys, like, NASA shifted, like, entire global economic markets. And, I mean, once again, fields of tobacco. And I really wish I could be in that work environment. That would be great. Just
The number of times that they set a scene by like opening like the opening shot or the closing shot or somewhere like they're panning around and they zoom in real close on just an ashtray just chock full like mounted with cigarettes. That happens like at least 3 or 4 times, and then there's at least 2 or 3 times where they make a joke like get a pot of coffee going like.
We need to invade Colombia. We need more coffee.
Could you imagine the bathrooms?
Oh my God.
Well,
Just
I don't
coffee
know.
and
They're-
cigarettes, man.
Tim, they brought in porta potties for that shit.
No, they could have been like that crazy astronaut lady who went across country to go like kill her like her.
Oh my God.
right, yeah.
They
She wore
just
the
give them the
diaper.
diapers.
She wore a
They're all just
diaper.
sitting there.
Right.
Fuck.
No time to stop. I can't stop the pee. I'm gonna pee in my pants.
Just shitting and smoking.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
so they're get themselves set up in the LEM, albeit pretty tumultuously. There's a lot of missteps involved, but they finally get the LEM up and running so they can shut down the command module. And then back on Earth, that fucking pissant press guy walks into Marilyn's house. She's like, can they set up like a fucking thing in your lawn? And she starts cutting off heads.
Nikki really liked that.
Hell
that
yeah,
part.
dude.
Nikki was all about that. She was like clapping. She's like, "That's right, girl. You fucking tell him to get off your goddamn lawn.
Yeah.
That's your husband." I'm like, calm down.
All right, Nikki, settle down.
I gotta say, I like that scene too.
I did too.
That was fucking great.
Right. I like how she didn't get too uppity because she's like, listen, the final say is my husband, which is the correct thing to do.
If they don't like it, they can take it up with my husband who will be home on Friday. Oh God.
Oh God, what am I gonna do?
She's gonna be dead.
I said no to the life insurance. Oh God.
So then mission control, we see the whole mission control team trying to figure out how to get him home. They're talking about, do you do a free return, which is where they go around the moon and then use that to slingshot him back toward Earth? Or do you just try and do an about face, just turn the ship around and fire up the engine and come back? Gene, like, once again, just starts whapping people in the face with his dick and just goes, we're not doing the fucking about face. We're doing the free return trajectory. What do you think? We're going to fire up that engine? It's going to explode, dumbass.
I like that he goes to the projector and he's like, God, fucking modern technology, and he's like throws it away. He's like, where's the goddamn chalkboard?
Just light magnifying glass.
Once again, everything. It was either the production team and the directors either going directly at the government saying like all their shit sucks, or like the number 13 is some serious shit, or it's like Apollo 13 on April 13th, whatever, all that shit what they were saying. Like, so did everybody still believe in the number 13 being an issue back then?
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Yes, I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, when everything goes as wrong as it did for this one, I guess you just got to lean into blaming something.
That's
Right.
true. Well, also, this was the same era that all these buildings were built without the number 13 on the fucking elevators. So,
Right.
Yeah,
I rest my case. All right, fair enough. All right.
I'll say though, so like this stuff when they're at game planning, like me as like a mouth breathing moron who loves action movies, I shouldn't like this part, but like this is the stuff that I love about the movie more than anything else is like them just having these like very deep like science that goes way over my head conversations. I mean, I was all for it. I loved it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is like this whole thing, and I got to be honest with you, from like the point when they mix the oxygen tanks and shit starts to go downhill, I literally have 4 lines of notes. I have a page of notes for everything leading up to it, and I have 4 lines after it because it was just stress.
Yeah.
I was just stressed watching this movie from this point on. Like I didn't think to write anything down. And that makes it like an action movie. Even though they're fucking talking about like they're retesting the Sesame startups and like, you know, they're talking about like math and how do we make a square filter fit into a round filter, and like it should be boring as fuck, but it's so stressful.
It's so good.
I think it's because it's so relatable. Everyone's been in a it doesn't matter what it is. Everyone's been in a circumstance where there's a problem and you just start yelling at people. You're like, you fucking idiot.
I know.
Oh, we're just going to turn it around. They bomb and they die.
We built it to land on the moon.
That's what I would have done.
The moon,
I'm just sitting there like, that's what I'm doing every time if I'm ever in a meeting, I don't care what it's about. I'm just yelling at people.
I'm sorry. I
Very
forgot.
relatable.
I forgot what we were talking about because I think it's so cute that Bill actually takes notes on real paper.
You guys don't take notes on real paper?
Oh God, no! My handwriting is horrific.
Hell no.
What do you take notes on? What are you taking notes on?
On the phone. I can just or on the laptop or the iPad or whatever it is. Yeah.
Ugh.
And then I can email it to myself and I can pull it up and it's in a perfect font because I can't read my own goddamn handwriting either. So
or you can just carry it to where you're going on a piece of paper.
But what if it hurts your hand?
I think it's cute you guys take notes at all. Moving on.
Right. Yes, gentlemen. Yes.
So Gene makes he goes, we're doing the free return. We're going around the moon. So the boys head around the side of the moon and they're out of radio signal for a while. And they kind of all get nostalgic about the moon and how beautiful it is and how cool it would have been to go down there. And then Jim snaps out of it and he goes, well, I want to go home, you pieces of shit. So you better get your fucking head snapped on right here.
Yeah, turn off the Pink Floyd. Let's get back to work, guys. Come on.
Right, exactly.
He does get really bitter, though, where they're like, dude, you got to check this out. And he's like, no, I've seen it.
I know. I hated it.
Okay, princess. Like, okay.
Ooh, it's Mount Maryland. You got to see it. It's literally the mountain you named after your wife. I've seen it. I don't have to see it again.
I can't touch it.
I was supposed to be there. You messed that up for me, Jack.
And then shortly after, he does end up running to the window anyway. So,
Okay, I guess I'll go see.
Well, he had to hold his thumb up to the earth. That was very important.
Right.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So after they come back into radio signal, then the boys from Mission Control go into another meeting where Johnny's got some opinions. He comes in and he's like, it's all about power, folks. It's all about power. Bah, 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 bah. Watts, amps, bah, volts, pow. And he basically says, if you don't shut everything down right now, they're not going to have enough power to like get home. And they're all like, well, shit. They probably shouldn't need some power for heat and stuff. But yeah, so they have to shut down the whole LEM. And then they go wake up Ken from his drunken stupor.
Yeah, it's a poor bastard.
To get him in the simulator so he can figure out how to come up with a repower up sequence.
Ken noted with no measles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No measles.
The guy in space has them though.
Yeah, not a hint of measles.
I love that, like, the NASA bagman that, like, actually breaks into his apartment and walks in. Like, he wakes up. He's like, oh, good, you're alive. Let's go.
Right. You didn't hang yourself, huh, Ken? Well, we all took a bet. I
lost.
lost.
Right, fantastic.
What were the odds? 3-1.
Oh, shit. Well, come with me anyway.
Should have been 2-1.
I like that. Like, he purposely took the phone off the hook because he just planned on sleeping in because he was shit-faced.
Right.
Like, I'm done.
I wish you could do
it's
that.
over.
Now.
Oh my God, dude. It's not even possible. I don't even want to go down that road. I'll fucking kill myself on air.
So the boys start shutting, the crew starts shutting down the LEM. I have a note that says, back on Earth, Marilyn tells some new people to fuck off, but I don't really know what that's pertaining to. So
It's all right. I have a note here that just says, "Oh, Gary," and there's nothing else.
Right.
So.
Oh, Gary. Oh, that Gary.
yeah.
Oh, Gary.
Wow. So after the LEM gets shut down, Ken's in the simulator, and then back up in space, Jack comes fuming down the tunnel from the command module saying, we're all fucked, they're lying to us, blah, blah, blah. And then it all comes out that everyone hates Jack and they all blame him for everything.
It's all your fault.
Suddenly, we all revert back to high school. Like in a matter of 30 seconds,
I mean,
everyone's screaming at each other.
They've kind of been dicks to him this whole time, though. That's the thing that
Kinda.
bothers me.
But
like,
no.
Very
like
much.
Mean Girls level, like
Yeah.
you know, like kind of like silent treatment, side-eyed looks, like inside jokes that only me and Fred are allowed to enjoy. Like, fuck you, there's three of you. You were the one that decided to bring this guy on,
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
be
It
nice
was your
to him.
decision, Tom Hanks. Again, this is why Tom Hanks is kind of a fucking dick in this movie.
Yeah,
It's like, you are the captain. You're the leader of this crew, and you're like also being a little high school bitch that's giving him the cold shoulder because he scraped up against the thing that NASA told him to do. They told him to fucking like scrape up against that when he was, doing his big space penetration scene.
But there was a lot of penetration, a lot of friction too, as we saw when they actually did it in real life. A lot of scrapage. But Jack, honest to God, he's the pilot. He should be the guy where he is. He's got the big dick swagger and everything, but he's not confident enough to stand up to these guys and be like, "No, I did everything I need." Like he's escalating with them. He raises his voice. Nah, you should be so goddamn confident where you're just like, "Ha ha," and just float back to the other cabin. Like.
Well, at this point too, you got to like also remember that like none of these guys have slept for days already.
Right, yeah.
At this point,
Yeah.
like they're starting to just lose it. I mean,
well, and Fred has obviously got some shit going on too. Like he's very sick.
Yeah.
104 degree
Yeah.
temp. Jesus
I have
Christ.
to say, though,
Fuck.
this is just a spoiler for the end of the podcast. He sucks. I hate
He's
Fred.
useless.
He's useless. He's useless, and he's like, I mean, at least Jim says the right thing to Jack in that moment where they're like, if I was in that seat, I would have stirred the tanks, and we're going to end up back here, the same problem, blah, blah, blah. Says the right things, like what a leader would say. Fred is just sitting there being like, you ruined my life.
It's Fred, Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, but they get interrupted by a new problem. Their argument gets interrupted by a new problem. The CO2 alarm goes off, and they have to figure out a way to build this crazy filter system where it takes a square filter into a round hole, build it up in space that these fucking geniuses down in NASA figured out.
Yeah.
Insane.
MacGyvered that
One-
shit.
Yep.
Jesus.
It's like, here's a
I thought, if anybody knows how to, make something fit, I thought they would have stuck Jack on that. But he was too busy being a little bitch and any other fucking thing. I mean, come on.
Jack, how do we make something fit into a round hole? Don't worry, I'm on it.
We got to do it.
We need to stick something into something that doesn't belong. I got it, guys.
All you hear in the background is just,
She ain't happy, but she's in there. Yeah, so but these guys out of NASA figured out how to make it work, so they built the new CO2 filtering system, and they put it in. The CO2 starts to go down, so at least they're not going to die of asphyxiation.
Is this when Bill Paxton rips the bag?
Yeah.
He goes,
Yeah.
I ripped it. What happens if you rip it? The guy's like,
you die.
you
you
die,
fucking
Fred."
shouldn't rip it.
I know, like the sweatiest, most balding guy in NASA is sitting there just with his burning cigarette. Just like,
What do you mean he ripped it? You're not
Could you
supposed to
imagine
rip it.
if, like, after all that shit, a ripped bag is what
Oh
doomed
shit! I
them.
sneezed and I ripped it in half. God damn it!
Oh, you're supposed to have this
Okay.
bag. Ooh, I used that to pee in earlier. Was I not supposed to do that?
You have a specialty bag to pee in.
Yeah, but it seemed like a good bag for peeing.
Well, I mean, I got the toilet, but I still pee in the sink. God damn it!
God
This is
damn
why
it,
we don't like
Fredo.
Texans in space. Which he then talks about later.
oh my God, dude, that is a TV show, dude. Texans in space. Oh my God, that's a show.
That's a
What if we
great-
how about we just shoot it?
I mean, fuck it. Yeah,
The
that
force
works.
from the gun will just push us out, right? If we just shoot it. Has anybody down in Houston suggested that we just shoot it? What if we just shoot the plastic bag?
That was the
brought my
first
gun.
suggestion.
How did you bring a gun into space? Oh, I mean, I'm from Texas.
Concealed carry,
Open
brother.
carry. Yeah. Remember the Alamo.
Yeah! I'll just start shooting into the They'll just die.
I mean, shit,
They
dude.
all die.
If Michael Bay snuck in a minigun in the movie Armageddon, I guess it's possible. So, yeah.
Oh, if you didn't think I immediately put on the trailer to Armageddon after this movie, oh boy, you would be mistaken, because I did.
It's a good
Okay.
movie. Armageddon's a good
Proud.
We'll save that one for you,
That's
Timmy.
good.
We won't do that next week.
So, the CO2's going down. Ken's back in the simulator, but he can't figure out a startup sequence that works, that keeps him under 20 amps. Meryl and the girls go to see Jim's mom, who thinks that Jim flies washing machines. So these are all good things that are happening in the movie right now.
If they could make a washing machine fly, my Jim could land it. The fuck does that mean?
Okay.
So I don't understand.
Who are you again?
You don't look like any of my sons.
I mean, like an astronaut that can afford like an incredibly expensive Corvette, like a nice house, like all this stuff, can't afford to put his mom in a nicer like living, facility than that, because that looked like concrete walls with like a tiny ass TV on a rolling stand. Like that looked like shit.
Just more proof that Jim's a dickhead.
Yeah, there's that cheap bastard.
Yeah, so after then we cut scene to the flight surgeon, who secretly is like the worst character in this whole movie. The flight surgeon and the media guy for NASA. He wants the guys to sleep because he's some fucking doctor pussy. And then the boys just
That's a medical
Yeah.
term. That's a medical
the
term.
boys just rip off their biomed sensors, and everyone has a good laugh.
I love how Gene in that scene is just like cracking up on the side. He's just like, fucking nerds mad. Look at him. The nerds mad.
Look at the line.
Like-
The line's not moving.
Like this room full of like incredible geniuses, and they all just like picking on the guy that's the doctor.
Right. Oh, I'm a doctor. I know how hearts work. Get out of here.
Oh, biology. That's a real pseudoscience in my mind. Ain't nothing like math, right, guys? Right, guys?
Hey, Doc, what's 2 + 2? He don't even know.
Oh, why don't you tell me how there's measles in the blood again? Hey, bring Ken in, and tell him I always got measles.
Yeah.
Some real science you got there, Doc.
Meanwhile, that's the same doctor that actually invented Viagra, so he's just laughing all the way to the bank and shit. So I'm just trying to do a good thing.
Just trying to read vitals from people on the moon in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
He honestly did nothing wrong this whole movie.
This is my job.
He did his job.
You brought me into this control center to read their vitals, and they ripped them out. So I'm kind of frustrated, guys.
He
nerd.
actually cares the most.
Hey, nerd, how would
Sorry.
you just shut the fuck up? They don't have their vitals on anymore. Get the fuck out of here.
That's probably what happened.
Go get me a pot of coffee.
You didn't see him at the celebration at the end. I'm sure he was like stuffed into a locker in NASA.
Yeah, how you write yourself a prescription for your period, you fucking Mary?
Well, also, like, Tom Hanks already, like, berates him in front of like, the director of NASA and shit. He's like, this is just fucking space flight surgeon bullshit. And, like, right in front of this guy, and he's pointing at him. Like, fuck you. But I'm not even looking at you because fuck you. Like, this guy is abused.
Fuck my kidneys and fuck you, Doc. Bill
He's the
Paxton's
only
like,
reason
yeah,
that
fuck
fucking...
fuck you too, man. It's like, no, Bill, you should actually keep those vitals on.
You are on the brink of death.
Yeah, you look terrible.
He's the only reason that Jack Swigert hasn't fucking died from cholera or like some other weird shit that he picked up on a fucking island. Like,
He's probably walking around being like, guys, smoking this many cigarettes is not really a good idea. It's not going to be healthy for your lungs. Get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. Get out of here.
You know that smoking cigarettes causes short irritability. Get the fuck out of here!
So, yeah, they find out the re-entry ankle's shallowing, so they're going to need to do another burn. But, they can't really turn on the computer, so they just got to basically wing it.
Crazy.
Aim for the earth,
Yeah,
boys.
just aim for the earth. Hey, is that big thing
what
that you're
NASA
from?
said.
Just aim at that.
Yeah.
I love that Tom's up there and he's like, we got a window. Everyone down's like, on Earth, like, huh.
I guess that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me do this math. We got one window and one earth. I think that checks out.
Debbie
I reckon
Rusty
it does.
equals
Check out.
home.
Checks out.
Yep, checks out.
Checks out.
Got one guy in the back just doing computing, crunching numbers. With
Hold on, I'm not done yet. I'm not done
That
yet.
checks
the
out.
15,000 square foot room, that's just one computer that is like half the processing
God,
power
good
of our
point.
calculator on our phone. Checks out. They've already
She's
landed,
putting those,
boys.
like Scantron cards into the computer.
Exactly.
Oh my God, Scantrons. I'm convinced that the Scantron, a faulty Scantron, gave me a lower ACT score getting out of high school. So.
I didn't think you could get lower than 0.
What a sick
wow, we
burn,
got a
Tim.
niller.
I know.
My
We're on the
God
pants.
damn, I'm just going to drown sorrows in white wine. Pinkies
Okay.
out, bitches.
So they start the burn, and it doesn't really start out well because Fred doesn't really understand up or down or left or right.
Well, why is can I ask you a question? All right, look, here's the thing. Jack Swigert, he's
Yep,
a pilot,
Swigert.
right?
Swigert.
He's there to
Yep,
fly the ship.
Switching.
Mhm.
Jim has also flown a ship.
Yeah.
You have two people who have flown a ship. You have one guy who's about to pass the fuck out. You have 3 people here. 2 are pilots. 1 is about to die. And you need 2 people to fly, and you need 1 person to hold a watch.
I know.
Why is the guy dying flying the ship?
Right. And then half the time, Jack's like, no, up, Fred, up.
He's like, what? Down? No, up, you fucking dumb hick.
I can't
Well, like,
I just can't get it.
What?
they didn't even need a third person. Like, that whole situation could have been solved by, telling the fucking dying Texan to go sit this one out. We're going to turn on the kitchen timer. One little egg timer would have solved the whole fucking issue right there.
Or counting.
Or
There's that.
One,
you're
two,
connected to
10.
NASA. You're connected to NASA too. Have somebody in NASA do the clock and have Jack. But like maybe they just don't trust Jack to do it right or something. But Jesus Christ, guy's
Also-
about to die and he's flying the ship.
We also forgot that Bill Paxton freaked out at Kevin Bacon about like the math being not correct, and then Bill Paxton goes, "Oh man, I was only counting for 2." It's like,
Yeah.
damn
Figured
it.
it for 2. Well, see, I only can count things that are in my vision because I can't store things in what the doctors call my brain. So,
Oh, no, Tim, the so-called doctors.
yeah, the so-called doctors.
Well, and Jack also predicted this low entry problem like 20 minutes prior in this movie. Like
Yep.
he came in was like, and this was the start of that huge fight. He comes in and be like, "Hey guys, here's a real problem. We're gonna die. Like, and I've figured this out mathematically.
Yeah.
This is not gonna work. We're gonna die." And they're all just like, "You did this to us, you son of a bitch! Like, you shut your mouth. We're talking about something important. Like, no guys, we're gonna die. No, we're talking about something here. The men are talking."
So-
We're talking about Fred's fucked up
Fun-
math.
So, fun fact, like when Jack does come in with that, knowledge that he drops on him, like, guys, I ran the numbers, like they're actually sending us in too hot. And everyone's like, that's bullshit. But that's the first moment of clarity that we get with Jack. Full confidence and everything. He had just beaten it in the other cabin.
He's in the corner. He's just in the other corner, just jerking it.
There's just
I can't
jizz
take this
that comes
goddamn-
floating down the
easily,
tunnel.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you could easily miss it, but a quick frame of focus there that changes, and you can see some white stuff floating in the background. Some white
Again,
globules.
Ectoplasm.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Spooky ghost in space.
I saw a
Oh,
spooky
it's
ghost.
okay.
Spooky
It's
ghost.
it's the UV rays from the sun. It's definitely not my cum. I definitely didn't just jerk off in another room.
That's swamp gas playing off of Saturn.
Yes, it's always swamp gas,
Aliens.
truthfully.
It's aliens. I mean, technically they are, right? I mean, they're
It's
not
not
in.
fucking orange juice.
They're not terrestrial.
How about Tang? Tang's good, huh? I like Tang.
Dude, I haven't thought about Tang for like a solid 20 years.
I feel like
We are an hour and 45 minutes into recording.
Fine,
Let's move
fine,
on.
Fine.
Kind of need Tim for this one. Usually when this happens, Tim will just be quiet for a while anyway, so it's fine. We can just kind of roll into it. But when Tim's actually leading the show, we kind of need him.
Well, I mean, like 45 minutes of us was this just like us just cutting the shit up in beforehand.
Yes.
Okay, so they start the burn. Doesn't go well, but they end up making it work. They kind of cut the burn a little short because I don't think Jim's all that confident that they're just gonna end up in Mercury,
Or turn into it.
Yeah, exactly. And then big news after the burn. Ken figures out he can't. Well, never mind. Sorry, he can't figure out the startup sequence, but the crew really wants the startup sequence, and then Ken does figure out the startup sequence by
good.
drawing power from the LEM batteries.
But just being like, that's common sense. Like, hey, y'all got batteries in the other thing, right? What thing? You know, the other thing. Yeah, we got batteries in the other thing. Huh. Really?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, let's see if this mech checks out. We got to go down the line.
I mean, seriously, we figured out how to put a fucking square into a round hole. And we forgot that there was extra batteries.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what happened. That John guy was just sitting there like, I don't know if we're going to find it. What about the batteries next to her?
What about this extra tank of gas?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we could use that too.
I was holding on to that for an emergency.
What? That's my contingency gas.
We want to get our astronauts high in space. I mean, it's kind of what it's reserved for.
Right.
All right.
But, you know...
Yeah, also, this entire time, Sinise is just like, now he was drunk, now he's just probably really hungover and sweaty.
Oh, yeah.
And just...
Probably
he's like, if they don't take a break, I don't take a break. It's like, you probably need to take a break.
probably stinks in that fucking simulator.
Yes. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just adding to the reality of the atmosphere inside of whatever the fuck is going on in that cabin in space, because goddamn, I don't want to smell it.
Oh, God.
That was my last note of this whole movie, I think, was just when they land, I'm like, God damn, can you imagine how bad that thing must have smelled when they cracked open the capsule?
Dude, everything's crusty, sticky. Yeah, no, it's
God
bad,
damn,
dude.
why is there so much cum in here?
We were up there for 6 days.
We're cramming. We were supposed to do. I thought I was
we
going to
told
die.
them to send a barrel.
Jesus
They didn't send a barrel.
Christ, it's like, I know Bill Paxton's in this movie, but this literally looks like the scene out of Alien. Just dripping everywhere.
Yeah, so then, you know, they figure out the startup procedures. Gene asks very politely for the startup procedures, you know, right before that.
Kicks the trash can or two. Yeah.
Then Ken walks
I'll
in.
go
like
down. I'll get an estimate. I'll go down and get an estimate for guys. I don't want a goddamn estimate. That was
I
fucking
loved it.
great.
Kick the trash can.
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. The trash can didn't fucking
Yeah.
deserve it, but it's okay. Especially considering that, like, my fucking parents' tax dollars paid for that goddamn trash can.
Everyone in that room turned and looked. I was like, oh, this is the time. He's going to kill someone this time. This is it.
The Man in Black's coming out.
Turns into a Quentin Tarantino movie. Okay, so then Ken walks in like a conquering hero. You know, slaps the fucking procedures down on the desk of mission control, and dick slaps the flight surgeon.
Are the flowers blooming in Houston? Nope. No, I don't have measles.
And then just glares at him. I love it.
Ken with absolutely no subtlety whatsoever.
But also, to John's earlier point, they would all be dead if Ken wasn't on the ground, because Jack certainly wasn't figuring this whole shit out.
Nope.
No. 'Cause he's doing the dance. I love the dance. The little, like, like, that's what everybody does when you're up in space. Yeah, he needed to be down, hung over out of his goddamn mind, figuring this out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I also kind of like how Ken is like the starting quarterback who got hurt and he couldn't play. So then he's like the guy at the clipboard on the sidelines with the headset that like helps win the game at the end.
Like, call the Hail Mary. We can do it.
That's it? We brought you in just to say throw it as deep as far as you possibly can?
That's all I know how to do.
One of the guys in the back room. That's what she said.
Okay, so they get the procedures going. He has to talk. So this is the point where I just was like, what is everyone's problem with Jack? Because so Jack, hasn't slept in fucking a week. You know what I mean? He's on the verge of death from not sleeping. And he's obviously
freezing to death too.
Yeah, freezing to death, anxiety ridden for his life. And he's like, can you just like talk me through this instead of just writing it down? And everyone like rolls their eyes like, this guy can't even figure it out. I'm like, what else? What? I wanted to be
you're right.
What else do you have to do, Ken? Do you have somewhere to go? Like, you can't
you're right.
Why wasn't that plan A? Why were you going to read him the whole thing to write it down up in this? Just fucking talking through it.
Right, exactly.
And honest to God, like these guys have already almost asphyxiated on carbon dioxide poisoning, and they haven't slept for several days. I mean, they've been fucking, they're drained of fluids at this point. Like, you're going to expect him to write it down and then be able to read his own handwriting all the while he's writing in 0G, by the way. So yeah, I'm totally with you. It's fucking ridiculous.
They're all fucked up.
Good on Jack for admitting that he couldn't do it too. If that was me, I would have 100% be like, "Yep, all right, I got you." Like, like, you sure? Like, that doesn't sound like writing up there. No, I'm sure. Bill's. I've got this.
Who am I again? What happens if you rip the paper?
Bill, it seems as though you've just jettisoned the lem. What happened there? Well, that was the first step you said, right? No, it wasn't.
Oh, boy.
But really, once again, though, Ken on the ground, quarterbacking this shit, fucking fourth quarter and everything, just being the only fucking adult in the room. He didn't roll his eyes. He just looked at everybody and they were like, ugh. And he's like, you got it, buddy. Let's do it.
Yep, exactly. He did the right thing for sure.
Yeah. He's the only pro. He's the only selfless, like, not just fucking dickhead in the entire movie. But that's my yeah.
Except for Gene.
Tip, right. Gene. I don't know.
He thinks he's so high.
Gene's doing it. Gene's doing it because now Mrs. Kranz isn't going to sleep with him if he doesn't get them back home. So he's got his own fucking.
We're not going to lose these men. I'm never going to have sex again if I do.
What?
What?
Kitty ain't going to put out. What? I have no idea if his wife's name.
From Fat Tony down the street.
Somebody call Hot Mary.
Hot Mary. Yeah, so Ken talks Jack through the power-up procedures. The lem is powered up. The guys move into the command module's powered up. Everyone moves into there. They jettison the service module where they get to see like that the entire like site of it has been blown off, and it blows damage up to the heat shield, which now raises questions about whether they're just gonna burn up and incinerate. So another problem for them to worry about.
They don't linger on that one, which I appreciated, because at that point too, I was like, so are we going to get home or are they dead? We got to get through this, even watching the movie. But they were like, oh no, it might have hit the heat shield. They might burn up. And then they never say another word about it again.
No, I'm with you on that. Like if they went through another round of like problem solving at that point, I would have been like, okay, enough.
Yeah.
They just need to come home or not.
We got to bring them home or not. Yeah. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah. This boy's going to die or what?
Yeah, just either get him home or like ghost him. Just like be like a girlfriend. Stop talking to him, but just leave him up there.
Houston.
I will say too, we get another example of Jack being right, where like they're making their final descent, and somebody says like to Gene like, hey, they're still coming in a little low, like, or a little shallow, like this might not work, and Gene says, can we do anything is there anything they can do about it? And then they're like, no. He's like, well, then they don't need to know. Right. And that was exactly what Jack said before. Is that like, we're coming in too shallow. They're not going to tell us if that's the case. Like, and that was when they all blew up at him. That like, of course they tell us. And they fucking lose their mind like high school girls. Once again, Jack is right.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
yeah,
this brings up a point. If I was like on the design team for this spaceship, I would have been, my number one contribution would have been, we need to give them suicide tools. Because if something goes wrong and they just are like careening off into space, I mean, I don't want to just like slowly die for fucking 2 weeks while our food goes.
Nah, dude.
I mean, you're in space.
Blow the airlock,
I was
man.
just going to say, a suicide tool is opening the door. You're dead in like 10 seconds.
You just
left.
alien
All right,
yourself.
fine.
Bubbles
Everyone
on
had
your
already
tongue
seen Alien. It's
explode.
fine.
I really just wanted, didn't want to commit suicide. I wanted to kill the other guys. I wanted to feel the thrill of murder before I died.
Yeah.
All right, Houston, we only got one person now. We can change the equation from 3 to 1.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, what?
Hey, why?
Oh, dude, you're fucked. Your ballast is all fucked up now. You're dead.
No, don't
buddy.
worry.
Sorry.
We still have the weight of the other bodies. They're just not breathing anymore.
Floating back.
CO2.
Also, we don't have the vent or the filter. I used that to kill one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, oh god.
Yeah, that hose.
Oh,
you know,
I used the other bag. Dude.
Yes.
Let's put it this way. I found the other way to fit a fucking square into a round hole.
Let's see. So they jettison the LEM, and they are on their way to reentry. And then the head of NASA and the media guy are behind Gene, talking about, oh yeah, if they die, this is going to be the worst tragedy. And then Gene just immediately, again, like he's just walking around, like dragging around he is dragging around his dick like this, like an elephant trunk, all day long.
Everybody, Tim is seriously. He took the shotgun off of the back wall and he's now waving around like it is an elephant trunk and or an elephant penis, same size as far as I'm concerned. Tim, put the shotgun down.
No, I will not.
It's the most intense workout Tim's done in years.
Yeah, and he just like fucking move on, whap, with his dick right across their faces and just like totally emasculates them. Like, it's like, you guys are supposed to be like the leaders of this, and I'm the only one that fucking like gives a shit and has confidence that we're gonna make it work.
This is gonna be NASA's finest hour. Nice one, Gene. Good one.
I love
Way
it.
to go, Gene.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
After Gene does that, reentry started. It's supposed to take 3 minutes, but they're at 4 and they're dead. That's the end of the movie. Okay, bye everybody.
Woo!
All right, so that's been part 1 of Dragon Ball Z, the movie. Lots of people smacked in the faces with dicks. It's been rough, but we're going to get to it. All right.
And just kidding, they made it through reentry and they land safely in the Pacific waters, and then everything after that is just fucking epilogue and no one cares.
Basically, they're alive. That's all we needed to know. They're good? All right, good.
Yep. The biggest thing that I take away from that is they spent like 8 days in space, right? And not one of them, they all looked like Bill Dooley after 8 days of not shaving. Like, not a whole lot of stubble going on there.
No. It wasn't.
They couldn't have
wasn't.
like just made that a little more real life, like filmed, like, did some filming over 8 days, or like asked them not to shave for 8 days prior to like filming that capsule scene or something like that. Like, I don't know.
They're not getting
That
their
bothered me.
collagens and their fluids, so maybe it stunts your facial hair.
I
All
think
right.
it just ruined
Fine.
Tom Hanks's
I'll allow
brand,
it.
and he wouldn't allow it. And I think that's what it was. Tom Hanks was like, no, I have to be clean shaven unless I'm stranded on a fucking desert island, which maybe happens later in his career. But it's still, because of him, yeah, they didn't have realism as far as facial hair went.
Fair enough.
Bill Paxton, I know that motherfucker can build a fucking happy patch.
All right.
Okay, so trivia. I have none.
Good.
The right amount of trivia.
Here's a trivia. This is based off a true story. Moving on.
This is based on a true story.
Look it
Okay,
up.
let's go into favorite and least favorite.
I'm just gonna just take this one. But my favorite is Ken Mattingly, played by Gary Sinise. Once again, he's the only fucking character he's just there to get the job done and do it all for the right reasons, and that's that. This is my duty. I'm getting it the fuck done. There's no selfishness, and he does it all hungover like a fucking champ.
I love it.
My least favorite is Jack, and it is only only because I don't think he's confident enough for the fucking role.
Wow.
Like, if you're going to be flying rockets, balls of steel, like, your captain, doesn't even matter if it's your captain or any of the guys that are beside you, like, that are giving you shit. You'd be like, dude, I did it right. Like, I'm the fucking best. That should be the answer. He should be Captain Kirk the whole fucking way.
I'm gonna jump right in here and immediately follow up and say my favorite is Jack. Because he was actually right about everything the whole time, and he did do his job correctly, and everyone else is a piece of shit. So I mean, and that's like you're talking about. Ken is the only one that's there, like doing his job and like showing up and being like, "That's Jack. That's Jack." Like, I don't know what more he could have done through this whole movie. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. Jack's my favorite character in this. My least favorite character is all of news media. In the 1960s, because they first like didn't cover the thing, and then everything after that was just them talking about how like a new way that the astronauts are gonna die. Oh, they're gonna freeze to death. Oh, they're gonna crash into the moon. Oh, they're gonna die like of CO2, like CO2 poisoning. Like every little thing, they just found the way. Like, here's the next way they're gonna die. Tune in, listen to this. They're gonna skim right off the Earth's atmosphere and jettison into the sun. Let's listen to an expert talk about how they're gonna burn.
Oh, they're gonna be screaming very loud, Tom.
Yeah,
it's like
that's just very American.
I hated those news clips. And like I think that those were all like the kind of things that were just that wasn't film. That was all just like clips from that era. So like they didn't play that up. They they focused on something to tell a story, but at the same time that shit all was still aired. That just made me mad. So all news media, fuck you.
I'm not going to go into that big of a rant. I'm just going to say my favorite's Ken, and my least favorite is Ron Howard's brother's teeth.
a fair assessment, Max.
They could have just thrown the gap of his teeth onto that goddamn spaceship, and they would have been fine. All the problems would have been.
Ron Howard's brother looks like the deformed guy from 300.
Yeah,
he does.
He looks like something else.
I see that.
There's a thing. Yeah.
Okay, my favorite, and I'm honestly offended that none of you chose it, is Gene, because Gene is the best guy.
No, he's pretty fucking
He's
good.
the best guy in reality, in
I'm
history.
Just intimidated.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I'm intimidated, so.
And my least favorite is Fred. Fuck Fred.
It's fair.
Man, fuck you.
That guy's a pussy. Yeah. Man, fuck you.
Eat shit.
Okay. What would you guys give this for a rating?
I'm going to give this a 13 out of 13. Straight up.
I like it, John.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
I'm going to give
an unlucky happy ending.
I'm going to give this movie the full raw in the pants rating. They've earned it fully raw in the pants.
Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Get it.
I'll give this one Ed Harris looking like a Greek god in that room full of fucking nerds out of just one missed opportunity by all of us to comment on Lieutenant Dan's legs being made from the same titanium alloy that was on the space shuttles. Really missed out on that.
That's a good tie-in. That's really, really good.
Trying
That's
to find
the
an
same
opening.
stuff they make it out of the goddamn space shuttles.
You're a ship captain, then I'm going to be an astronaut. 1 year later, he's an astronaut.
Yep. Okay, my rating is a wholehearted would give it to Marilyn, to Mrs. Lovell.
Oh no.
That's my rating.
Good.
Oh, man.
It's a solid,
Honeycombs, dude.
Solid
Yep.
rating.
The honeycombs coming for the fucking honey pot.
Okay, well that's it.
Big
That's
Bear.
Apollo 13.
Oh,
folks.
wait.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Marry, fuck, kill.
okay.
Oh, shit. you
Yes,
bastard. I don't
almost
even
forgot.
know. I don't know how to play this goddamn
Okay,
game.
John, so
I don't
this is
know
how
to
it
do
works, okay? There's 3 names we're going to give you, and you're
I'm
going
too
to
literal.
and you're going to pick one of them that you would marry, one of them
Okay.
that you would fuck, but not marry
Yeah.
or kill, and then
Yeah.
the other one you
Yeah.
would kill, so you wouldn't fuck or marry them.
Yeah, so why was it bad that I said Kellyanne Conway the first time?
We weren't there for that situation, so
No,
we
I
can't
have no
answer
idea
that.
what you're talking about.
Okay, that's fine. Cut that part out because I'll probably get investigated. So, but anyway, sorry. You were staying at my house and we were very drunk. Well, at my small apartment.
Okay, definitely don't remember that.
So who are the three names, Max?
It's gonna be the three astronauts in space.
Okay.
Oh God, dude.
Easy.
Oh, this is easy.
God.
Easy.
Mm.
Fuck Kevin Bacon, marry Jim Lovell, and kill Fred.
Agreed.
That's interesting for you, Tim, since you hate Kevin Bacon.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Because are we talking about the actors or are we talking about the characters?
We're talking about the
We're talking about
characters.
the characters.
Yeah.
The characters, right. Because, I mean,
Everyone would marry Tom Hanks.
No. If we're talking about the actors, you can't take that pedophile Tom Hanks. I mean, gross. Come on.
Franchise or a pizza cake.
He is. No, there's a thing. Seriously, yeah, Pizzagate. Look that shit up. I was down the street. Let me put it this way: it wasn't Hillary Clinton running out of the back door.
Hey, that guy created Chet Hanks, so he can't be doing. He's gonna be doing something wrong.
Honest to God, though, I'm gonna fuck Jim Lovell because it would be great. I know he's got a little that romantic flair, but I'm gonna marry Fred Hayes because I know he'll keep the relationship and the marriage spicy, and I'm gonna kill Jack Swidgen, just because I don't want to catch what he's got.
Yeah, that's a good call. You can't fuck that guy.
Nah, dude. And
No,
it's not his
let him
fault.
say her
He's just
condom and get in there.
He likes to play around, you know? I mean,
Condoms didn't exist in 1970.
yeah, not with astronauts, for fuck's sake.
I'm a goddamn astronaut. You think I put rubber on this thing?
Like, Jesus. I'm going to Uranus. Like, somebody had to say it.
Apollo
I
69.
can't believe I said that. Oh, this is great. This is great.
So I'll just
Bill,
do. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna just do it. What my wife did. So she was marry Tom Hanks, fuck Bill Paxton, but that's just because she loves that show Big Love, and then just kill Kevin Bacon because she also just despises Kevin Bacon for some reason.
She's
Even
Oh, wow.
though my
Okay.
wife is literally 3 degrees separated from Kevin Bacon, still doesn't like him.
I feel like that's a good excuse. I mean, if you're not going to like family, I mean, much less like even throw family into a fuck or marry equation. So I get it.
Tim hosting the podcast is definitely on his phone right now.
Oh no!
Tim back to his usual.
I'm trimming a fly.
Oh no, he's
Trimming up.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's awesome. We're doing a fishing show. I love it.
Tim's like, I haven't done this for 2 hours.
I was playing with all these before while I was talking.
I saw you fiddling with them. Like, it was clear that you were doing something
dude.
dexterous at that moment.
Tim's
Oh, my
playing with it the
God,
whole
I love
episode,
you.
and he looks up and doesn't realize that his hands are just covered in blood.
Oh, God, there's hooks in these.
Oh, Jesus, I didn't realize that
Not
there was hooks.
again. Oh, Abby's going to be so mad at me. Look at all the blood in my pants.
Oh god!
Oh, dude.
She
Oh, I
told me
should
there
have
are
touched my
hooks.
dick so much.
She keeps telling me there are hooks. I can't. Why do I don't remember? Oh, maybe the doctor was right about this whole dementia thing.
What was his name again? Fuck. Well, I guess we can just end the show now.
Yeah, because I don't have any there's no fucking jelly.
Fuck
No one
it.
said a goddamn word just because they're bitter.
All right. Well, that's
All
the
right,
show.
see you
folks.
guys.
Write and review?
Sure.
But no, really, y'all. I mean, I know there's jelly coming. Everyone's busy and shit, and I get that. But really, as always, follow us and like us on Twitter lands at HM Popcorn Pod and the Instagrills at Hold My Popcorn _podcast. And lastly, as always, you can email me, you can email Tim, you can even email us to tell Bill to go fuck himself at tdbackrow@gmail.com. And it works. And if you also, at the same time, we say bad things about Bill, but he did try to win over the show, and Max is missing an arm, but he's still running it. And but if you want to give us any more encouragement for another Bill's direction, just let us know. And once again, Max, so what's the fucking Facebook thing? I'm gonna get it eventually.
Google it. You'll figure it out. You guys are smart.
Yeah, they are smart. So hold my popcorn, Google that shit. Facebook will pop up. Take a look at it. Love it. You can reach out to us directly like that. But we're old school and we like fucking email. But deuces, fuckers, as Max just shows his guns in the
No,
background.
I'm stretching. I need to fucking pee. It is 11:30 Eastern time. Time to go. Time to abort
All
this
right.
mission. Let's just crash land into the earth.
Houston, we got to piss. Deuces, fuckers.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Maybe Max is an X-Man, and he has superhuman hearing.
You know what? I'm going to go with it. I like it.
Sure. Yes. I also
You would be called the owl. No, the bat. You'd be the bat.
The bat.
There's already a Batman. He's not an
Fuck
X-Men.
you, Bill.
the bat person, the bat male. MAIL or no, it's MALE. Oh,
Oh, I can recall like one of the top 2 famous superheroes ever.
this man he's great. He's like some sort of super person.
Yeah. Superman.
Damn it.
I never
Already
understood how
taken.
they go from a bird to Superman.
He's the bird. He's the man bat.
Actually, it's a
Man.
character. No, that's also a
Batwing.
character, Tim. It's called Man Bat.
What?
It's a villain in the Batman stories.
I don't know.
That was the vampire scientist, right?
Yeah, the guy turns into like a bat humanoid.
Yeah.
The cartoon
He's
back in
trying
the
to
day.
cure cancer or some shit, right?
Something. Yeah, he injects himself with some like serum and then he turns
Oh.
into a bat.
Isn't oh god, the guy from 30 Seconds to Mars, the singer, isn't he going to be cast as him
No, he was
in
a
an
Joker.
upcoming? Well, no, I'm almost serious. Like I think that they're going to cast him as that vampire dude, unless I'm thinking of Spider-Man, and I think it might be there was a similar character in Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't think DC's
vampire.
going to allow Jared Leto to do anything again. I hope that they don't.
I